Is love truly blind? Well, Izzy Zapata from season 5 of Love is Blind shares with us his love experience in the pods. Izzy met 3 beautiful women, and he made a deep connection with each one in a different way. Well, after going on several dates, things got really real fast. But Izzy stayed true to his heart and asked Stacy to be his wife. The suspense of seeing each other for the first time out of the pods was magical. Things began to move along very fast. And like in any relationship, they had their highs and they had their lows. And in the end, Stacy still said no. So is love truly blind?
Man,
Tonight!
Yes.
Is love
yes.
truly blind?
Hey.
Listen, y'all, I'm your boy, Pastor J.
And I'm your girl, Lady Free.
And I'm too real.
And
yes.
we, as you can see, have our special
Guest.
guest.
My boy,
So
Izzy.
excited. Yes.
Izzy,
I'm so pumped to be
okay.
here.
Oh my
Man,
God.
thank you, Izzy,
Welcome.
man.
Yes.
This is an honor to have you on here with us.
Thank you.
Shift Real Talk, man. Listen, man, be yourself. Listen,
Yes.
we got you covered.
For sure.
There's a lot of people that follow us, man, that got your back
Yes.
in your
Thank
corner.
y'all.
And when they sent us questions and said, we love Izzy and he was
Yes.
done wrong. And so we got your back, man.
Appreciate
so feel at
that.
home here,
Ashley
man.
Jones.
Yes, Ashley is on. Please give my sister a
Please.
shout out.
Ashley Jones, what it do, baby? Thanks for tuning in.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so the whole time we were watching the clip of your journey, I was looking at you like, I wonder what he's thinking.
Oh,
How does
man.
it feel seeing that?
It's crazy. It's been like 2 years since that now, and when I watch that back, it still hits, you know. Yeah, it still hits that spot. I mean, obviously I've moved on from it, but it's like it's tough. I think through everything, through watching it back, I think the hardest part was to see myself go through pain and rejection. I think that was the hardest part through it all. So yeah, it still hits me. It's a good intro.
You know, today's society, the way relationship is set up, it is set up intimately because sex is what drives a relationship in today's world usually.
Yeah.
So I understand the point of developing a connection without the physical. But how is that? How did that work for you?
gotta
Like,
tell us,
without
how did this-
how was that?
So I guess kind of to give you the gist of how it works for us. One, I was engaged once before in like real life. That obviously didn't work well. I was jaded from that. But how it works is day one, there's 15 guys, 15 girls. You have 15 minutes to date every single girl. So you're going quick. So me being, at the time I was 29, I was like, I'm ready for marriage.
Okay.
You have 15 minutes to really make an impression on somebody. Vice versa. The girls, have to make the impression on me. And so a lot of the people were like, all right, am I going to go in cool and casual and just like, kind of shoot the talk and go off that kind of vibe? But for me, I went in, straight shooting, like, do you really want marriage? What's your relationship history?
You
like,
sure did.
Oh yeah, I had no problem going deep, and a lot of the girls love that. But then there were some of the girls that certain things that you didn't see.
Okay.
I had one girl, it was my final date of the day. I went in deep. She's like, "Wow, you're asking a lot of deep questions right now. Like, I don't like it." And I was like, "Well, that's the whole point of this." So I was like, "It was a pleasure to meet you." I got up after like a minute and just walked out of the pod, and I was like, "Yeah, it's just not for me."
I'm a stickler to really, because the person, even through conversation, that's how me and my wife, we're best friends. But the way that I got to know her was her response to the questions that I asked. And to be honest with you, that's how men trust. Because when we're able to give you our deepest secrets, and you're able to
hold it
and
not throw it back at you.
And not throw it back in. That's how we trust. Because, we got to give you a part. That's a part of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So did you ever run into a situation on the show where you've given yourself, talking and gave a secret and somebody kind of like took it and then make sure, they didn't make you feel comfortable with what you told them?
Oh yeah, my credit score. The main reason.
Absolutely. Come on.
The main reason.
Got
Yeah,
you.
that's the credit score, I would have to say.
Yeah.
For some people, is a make or break. How do you feel about that? Do you think that, like, we all go through struggles, and do you feel like that could impact, like, has an impact on you when you meet someone because they now know what your score is?
I think it kind of, I mean, everyone has their own different opinions. I think for me, how I looked at it, clearly Stacey and I had two different upbringings. You know, like my parents, we lived in a 2-bedroom house the size of a 1-bedroom apartment, you know, and obviously she lived, you know, very differently. And so I think for me, growing up and watching my parents, they just worked really hard. And I know her parents did too, but I think I was looking more in a futuristic sense of we're going to build and grow together. Like we're just starting.
Nice.
So like, hey baby, I got your back. Will you have mine?
Got you.
Like we're going to uplift each other, versus, oh, well, you have bad credit. So I'm just going to go ahead. You can check every other box, but you have bad credit. Like,
and I didn't like how that was portrayed either. Like you didn't tell me, and then from what you're saying, you didn't have a lot of time to do. And my question is, how did time really play a factor in everything? Like it seemed like that y'all had everything was sped up, and you had to make rush decisions.
So I will say I did have the time, because with Johnny, another girl that I had a connection with, it came up in the pods.
You was deeper with Johnny. You was deeper with
There's
Johnny. Come on.
Me and Stacey eventually did get deep, but I guess to get back to your, like, to the point of that question, I just think that it was just never a topic that was like really big at like the beginning. I didn't really notice it starting to be an issue until we got home, and like finances was always like brought up. Like we got home and the second day she was like, I'm going to the lawyer to get a prenup going, like kind of thing.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's the first thing on your mind right now? Like if for me, I'm like, you know, we have 3 dogs in total. Like we're about to move into a whole new apartment together. How's that going to work out, kind of thing? Versus like, I'm not worrying about money or taking your money. Like that was never a thought in my head. So it was just unfortunate as filming goes on, everything, like I had to go back to work too. So I was like, I would go to work from like 8 and I would work, you know, long hours and get off of work. I went, and then we had to go film till like midnight or 1.
Wow.
And then so there's different scenarios, meeting the family, seeing the places, like stuff like that. And so it's just hard to have that discussion when you're having to bring up so many other different topics. You know,
I got a good question. There's a lot of people that's tuned in with us, and Ashley, the one we gave a shout out to, my sister, she said, as a man, how do you process rejection, and what does it look like projecting outward?
Great question.
So I actually, and I mean, nobody likes rejection. But I think what helped me a lot was I did a lot of therapy after my first engagement.
Gotcha.
'Cause she cheated on me. So,
I'm like, ew.
yeah. And so I think like a lot of that, obviously it causes a lot of insecurities. You're afraid to be vulnerable. You're, you know, or to let your walls fall with somebody. So I think like afterwards, when it came to that, I think the reason why I was so proud of myself is because when I submitted myself to the experiment, I was like, look, I'm going to give everything I can to this person. And if in the end, you know, I fall short, 1, they're not the person for me. And 2, like, I know I'm still a great guy.
Yes.
And so I think that, I mean, it still sucked, but it helped me cope with the rejection a little bit better.
Right.
Wow.
So let me ask you this question that's hot on my palate. Okay.
Bring it.
So has being on the show had any impact on your life priorities when it comes to a relationship?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I think I've actually made, you know, relationship if I'm pursuing that, I make them my number 1 priority. So just a ton of reassurance. It's definitely difficult for that person to, 1, have to see me have been in love, you know, with somebody else on TV. The whole world sees it, you know, going out. I had girls coming up to me left and right for pictures, and like you got social media, people in the DMs, like all that stuff. And I think like at the end of the day, as long as I have that communication with that person and reassure them, I really don't feel like it was an issue. Like it would be an issue. It just depends the effort I put into that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I realized that rejection, you know, and I've learned this a lot because me growing up, rejection truly is like sometimes God's protection against us.
Oh,
So sometimes things don't work out for a reason.
Yeah.
And you definitely
Yeah, and
got
honestly,
protected.
and looking back at
You
it now,
got
like
protected.
I'm glad it happened the way
Yes.
that it
Right.
did.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Not to go too in depth, but if I were to look at it now, I know I
Yes.
wouldn't be happy.
Because sometimes good people get hooked up with people that really
That are
don't,
not good for
that
them.
are not good for them. Thank good.
Yeah.
And so like I said, I really believe that was a protection for you, because
Yeah, I agree.
knowing you and then knowing the people that you hang around. Of course, I met Justin, one of your
Yeah.
best friends, and he talks highly of you.
Yeah, he
And
does.
and,
Oh, boy.
and your character, man, you never. I applaud you, man, because you handled the situation
Yes.
like a mature person,
Like a man.
like a man would.
Yes.
Anybody else would have just and went on a spree of dating, because that was my way to handle it. When I dealing with rejection, I would just truly start dating
Throw
everybody. And
yourself
then,
out there.
but
Yeah.
but you
That's
but
how
you
he used
you
to do it.
healed. You did the right thing to heal, and to find to find your way to go to something maybe that's better for you. But so and with saying that, how do you think? What do you believe that you learned from this experience?
That's yeah.
Vocalizing my boundaries more and sticking to them. I would say,
Gotcha.
like,
That's
I would
good.
lose sight of my own feelings and boundaries and sacrifice my feelings to please somebody else.
And you feel like that's what you did on the show?
Oh yeah.
You lost yourself in sacrifice. I saw
Yeah.
that.
I mean, you saw me crying in the closet.
I hated
Yeah.
that. Oh, okay.
Like, there was
You know
only
what?
so much
now
I could
gotta
take.
really
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
into it
Okay,
now.
so check this out. I was actually, when I was trying to work this video out, I was gonna put that on there and I deleted. I said I cannot.
I wouldn't have minded.
You know what? I couldn't watch that because I was so upset. And then, I mean, I don't know how much time went by before she came and said, "Well, what's the matter? What are you?" I'm looking like, "What's the matter? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Did you not see what just happened, ma'am?"
Yeah, that was tough. That was honestly my first breakdown that I had. And that was just, again, she was having such a hard time, with the show. I never knew if one day she was a yes, tomorrow she was a no. And I just always try to keep her level headed and,
Yes.
reel her back in when she was losing it. That I was just like, I kept, bottling all my emotions.
Trying to take care of her.
And then when she's
Yeah.
telling me, like, well, you're not doing this and you're not
Oh,
doing
yeah.
that. And I'm like,
Oh.
I was just like a punch to the gut.
Right.
And I just
Wow.
lost it. And that's when I just went and cried in the closet. There was only so much I could take at that
Wow.
point.
Right.
Yeah.
I love your vulnerability, by the way.
I have
Yes,
my,
that's very attractive. Keep it up.
we
To
have,
all
we
the
have,
men out there,
we gotta-
be vulnerable like Izzy Zapata. That's how you
Yeah.
get the ladies.
we just want to just take a little moment to give a couple of shout outs. We got
Yes.
Mama Pearly on
Mama
the phone.
Pearly.
My mom.
Darren
Hey,
Phillips,
Mom.
Kia, my daughter, Gladys is on here, and she had a question for you. I wanted to
Resiliency transformed.
Yes.
Hello.
Gladys said, how has being on the show affected your dating life?
That was a good one, Gladys.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, kind of like you said, I can go and, soak up the benefits of so much women giving me attention, but at the end of the day, what's it going to get me? You know what I mean? Like, I could go off on a spree and, hook up with all these girls, but at the end of the day, I'm still trying to fill a void. And
Yeah.
I'm
Come
not
on with
gonna
the
be-
voids.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So I think, I found, something that
Okay.
it's
Okay.
hit the sweet spot, and and I'm good. Like, ladies, stay out of my DMs, please. I'm happy.
Please.
Yeah, this is from Allie. Stay out of them.
But that's so ironic that you say that, because, like I said, every experience that we go through is designed for a specific purpose,
Yes.
and we go through things to learn. And sometimes a lot of us don't learn lessons unless we go through the experience. So the experience helps now articulate a whole different mindset on how we go into other situations.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it kind of helps with that. So with your mindset now, as opposed to when it was on the show,
Come on.
like what do you think now about?
Man, honestly, when I was going into the show, I was a dog. Like,
Gotcha.
I was, but I was in like a good spot in the sense of I never gave myself time, kind of just growing up, I've always been like a hopeless romantic. I always wanted a relationship. So I was always dependent on relationships. And I went from girlfriend to girlfriend that I never really gave myself time to like find myself and explore. I was raised in such a sheltered upbringing that I just needed time for myself to help me mature a little bit more too. And so in that time, obviously, you know, I was having good casual dates and fun, and I was in a good spot though. But then when I went back into the show, and I started getting deep, I'm like, all right, like this is marriage, and I'm ready. And I felt really good because I felt like I did all the work. I did a lot of therapy. I even tried to save my engagement and go in like premarital counseling afterwards. Wow. She didn't want to do it, so I just stayed by myself because I didn't have the best example of, you know, growing up watching what a healthy relationship looked like. Yeah. Wow. So I kind of did that for myself. So when I went into Love is Blind, I was like, oh,
I got this.
I'm oiled up. I'm ready to go. But unfortunately, I just didn't find my person that was on the same page. So
okay, go ahead. No.
So what mistake do you want to avoid making in the future? Because I know you previously said that you had been engaged before, and then here you get on the show and you were engaged so far twice now. Do you feel like there's something you're doing to pull those type of women, you know, towards you?
That's a good question.
That is raw.
I think that it's kind of the same thing. I think I was just sacrificing my feelings at the time because it was the same thing with the first girl. I kept trying so hard to like.
You weren't putting yourself first, it sounds like.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this time being with the person, it's like I need someone on the exact same page who's just as vulnerable and like just the communication being clear. Like, no, there's always especially nowadays with dating, there's always that tough spot or that gray area of not knowing how somebody feels. And it could be so simple as, well, he took 5 minutes to text me back, so now I'm going to take 20.
The games,
you know,
right?
like the
No
hard to
more
play games. It's like,
Yeah.
look, I'm not trying to do this. Like, let's just get straight to the point. What are you feeling? What am I feeling? If I can find someone that just does those minute things, it goes such a long way. So.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a young lady. She's my sweetie. Her name is Alexa. Can you please give
Alexa? Or shit. Alexa, what's up? Thanks for watching. Nice to meet you virtually.
Izzy in the house.
We in here.
Yes. Okay, so Kim
Scott.
She says, so what's the screening process? Because to marry someone you really don't know can be scary.
Yeah. So I got a phone call randomly. They called me twice. It was like an LA number. I thought it was a telemarketer. I just completely ignored it. Got a text from a lady. She's like, this is so-and-so from casting of a show called Love is Blind. I was like, all right, which one of my friends is messing with me?
Yeah.
And I was like, Justin, is that you?
You're like, you're getting punked, right?
Seriously. And then so I call her. She said, call me really quick. Added her on Instagram. She was real. So I did like a Zoom interview for like an hour and a half. And then if, you know, you keep making it to the next round, then the next week's like they send you like a 300 questionnaire. Jeez. I did like 2 of those. They made me send like 10 photos of me with my childhood and hobbies, and me and pictures of all my exes with me, and you know, like just a whole bunch of stuff. Then a psych eval, psych questionnaire, meet with the psychiatrist, background checks. Like, it took about a good 6 months, and I had never had a passport. And so it was about a month where we're out to go, you know, film, and I've made it so far, but they never give you the, hey, you've officially made it. They're like, you're in the running. It's not for sure, but it's looking good. So I'm like, well, am I doing it or not? Yeah. So I was like, hey, well, you know, thanks for, you know, letting me come this far, but I don't think I'm going to, at that time, COVID, it was taking like 14 weeks to get a passport.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And I was leaving in 4 if that was the case. So I was like, I'm not going to be able to go. Like, I don't have my passport. And they were like, yo, don't worry. Just show up at this office tomorrow with a picture and you'll be good to go. So I went, and the day after I had a passport in hand, ready to go. And I was like, all right, these people didn't go get me a passport expedited this fast for no reason.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I finally made the show. So
nice.
Wow.
I didn't think I was going to make it.
Was it all filmed here in Houston?
So the pods is in LA. And then we went to Mexico. So if you do get engaged, they only follow 5 couples. 8 couples got engaged on our season.
Nice.
But they only choose 5 to go off to follow your story. And you're in Mexico on a pretty honeymoon for a week. And then you come back and they put you in an apartment here in Houston for a month. And you're planning a wedding the whole time.
Oh, nice.
So all of this for someone, one of our viewers was like, I love the show. And she said, I always wanted to know if it was really real. So this is real.
It's
You're
real.
actually
Wow.
doing this.
Yeah,
Wow,
I'm doing
yeah.
it. Like if
Wow.
you saw the
a
intro,
reality
I had
show.
the wedding certificate in hand. We had to
Right.
do that, wait in line, do the whole
that.
thing. Yeah, it was nuts. And I think for me, that's when it really
That's when it
real.
got. Yeah, I was gonna say probably for her too.
Oh yeah, because we went and I was like, man, we're getting our wedding certificate, and wedding was like a week from then.
Okay, so when you first was standing at the doors, before the doors opened up, what was that moment like to see this
Great
lady
question.
you've been talking to?
God. oh, when I see her for the first
Yeah,
time.
when you see her for the first time.
Oh God, that was so nerve wracking. That was what I loved about Love Is Blind, was the whole concept of it. What was going through my mind was, I hope she thinks I'm attractive because I have a bald head.
You
Well,
and that
Shout out to my bald brother
Is
watching
that
out
what
there.
you were thinking? Oh my
Yeah,
god!
like
I would have been like, "What is behind that door?"
yeah, I mean, like clearly, and before it happens, like it pops up. You can see the silhouette, you know?
Right.
So you can kind of see them from a distance, and it's like I
That
can
is
see
so cool.
a nice little figure. You know,
Yeah.
this lady standing there with her hand on her hip. I'm like, all right, she looks hot. I can't see her, but and then for me, like and it's so sad, just like my insecurities then. But that was like the main thing that was just going through my head. Like, what if she doesn't like me? What if she turns away?
Yeah.
I
You
think
know,
that's
kinda thing.
normal though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was what was going through my head. And then when I saw her, it was so crazy. But in my head, I'm like, this girl's gonna break my heart. Like I just had a feeling, this girl's gonna break my heart.
Oh, wow.
Not like in a
Wow.
bit, like I felt like a heartbreaker. You know, when you just see like a pretty girl and you're like, damn, like I'm about to be, you know, real.
Because you know how you love though.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
like play I'm sprung right now.
Yeah.
Hit it, Alexa. Just kidding.
Just touching on the what if, like we're counselors, and what if is a trigger, because what it does is it has you thinking in your head, and the first thought from what if is like a negative. It comes from a
Always
negative.
Oh, yeah,
right?
so true.
Yeah, it comes from something that's negative, but it comes from, you know, like things that may have happened in your past, because it's like a trigger, like maybe something didn't happen before, or something
Yeah.
didn't work out, or so. I mean,
That was the reason, man. There were so many times, like, you know, meet a girl. I'd be out at a bar, and I had this girl take off my hat one time, and she was just like, "Ew," put the hat back on, walked away.
What?
Well, that just shows how
That
shallow.
was real. When you
Yeah.
said that on the show, that was actually
Yeah, oh, that's real.
So all of this, okay,
It's
so
all real.
It's all
guys,
real.
it really happened. All of
Yeah.
this really
Wow.
happened.
Wow.
Hey, Robin. Hey, Tisha.
Sonia, hey sweetheart.
Hey, y'all.
Okay, I have another question. Okay, I noticed, because I didn't notice it the first time, but when I went back to watch the whole season, right when you and Johnny had right before you told her, I can't do this. I have it's a two-part.
Yeah.
You did something like this. You was like, then you said, why did you do that? It was like, you was like, and then you
Man,
broke
that's a
the
good question.
news. I said,
Sometimes it's the way the edit is as well.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say like anything is real, but sometimes there's like an edit of maybe they'll show a certain part that actually happened later or before.
yeah, I
I can't
understand
remember
that.
quite exactly, but I can kind of give you the rundown. Long story short, what happened with Johnny, that was the deepest connection, day one.
right.
And we had it the whole way, but I think the only thing, what scared me is that she got married again, and to use the dude as a rebound.
Right. I noticed that.
That scared me, and I was like, well, how do I know you're not about to do the same thing to me? And I loved how deep we are. I mean, when I can connect with a girl like that, it's amazing. I love vulnerability from a woman. But I felt like we just didn't have, like, it was just always too deep. It kind of just got depressing after a while.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, there was no
okay.
fun. There was no laughter. We would have, like, spa days set up in the pods and games and everything. And it was just always such, like, deep conversations. And I was like, can we have like, at least some fun?
Can we laugh a little
Yeah,
bit?
a little bit.
And I have to ask you
Okay.
this: what is your horoscope? When's your birthday?
I'm a Virgo.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
wow.
had to ask that
I don't know.
question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
horoscopes,
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Virgo ladies.
What's the guy's name? Nick and his wife.
Nick Lachey and
Nick
Vanessa.
Lachey. Yeah. So do they like? They only it seem like they don't really come out. It's like they let you guys figure it out.
So they introduce us. You know, they host the show. They come and talk to us at the beginning, let us know the pods are open, explain how everything's gonna work, and then they'll come check on us when we do like our dress fitting and suit fitting.
Right.
And they'll get a little bit more personal with you there, and talk about how you're feeling and get to know your family a little bit. So. But yeah, they're awesome in real life.
Yeah.
A lot of people like would bash them for previous seasons and reunions, but they're honestly amazing people. So
Got you.
yeah.
What made Lydia not the one?
Honestly, like it was a nice thing, like to be wanted by clearly a beautiful girl. I think for me, she was coming off too strong at the beginning, like a little too strong, which is not a bad thing.
Her
It was
personality is just big and beautiful.
Yeah, and for me, like at that time, like she was getting very sexual after like the first day, and it was funny, like but I was like, okay, I need to kind of get
Slow
to know
down a
you
little
more.
bit.
But she was like, in a way, just throwing all her eggs in one basket on me.
Gotcha.
And for me, I'm like, we need to, like, it's fair to ourselves to do this experiment fully. Like, you need to explore other men.
Gotcha.
And I need to keep exploring, other women. And that's how it's done. And that's what I feel like a lot of people, I know there's a couple guys on my side and some of the girls on the other, that they immediately latched on to a guy after like the third day. And I would, I'd have to go into a date with them. They'll be like, you can stay if you want to stay, but just to let you know, I'm already choosing him.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm like,
Okay.
I'd be like, well, girl, you're selling yourself short because, like, one, I'm a great guy. Two, like,
that's
you don't even
right.
know if you're
Yeah.
gonna like
I
this
mean,
guy.
and at the end of
Yeah.
the day, like we say on shift, gathering data is the key. you
Yeah,
know?
dating is
have to-
gathering data.
Yes.
And
you
I
have to
love
do
how
that.
they do that because to me personally, I feel like that's how dating should be. You should date multiple people at the same time, but the only problem is we introduce sex. And once you
First.
introduce sex into it, now
cat is out
I
of the
say
bag.
you are mine. It
Yes.
becomes like a property thing. Now we
Yes.
together. But if you just go on dates and gather the data and get to know people in the real world, the experiment would actually be what dating should be. Now you get a chance to get to know this person deep, whatever you got to do. And now you can say, out of all the girls that I dated, I think this one is the one I like the most. How you going to do that
Because
if you
we
just
shared
latch on to
experiences.
one? I'm talking about in real life now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just latch on to one. When he and I got back together after our little 3-year breakup,
I got to know more about that. But not
know,
on this
that's tough.
episode.
the 3-year breakup.
we
So
got to
you
do
don't
a
know
show
about
on
the
that.
three-year
broke up
breakup.
for 3 years.
We got to go up.
Yeah.
That's a new episode now.
So okay, and it can be. So after we got back together, I told him straight up. I said, "Okay, I'm dating other people." He was like, "Okay, good, because I'm dating other people too." So now me and him can be like, I'd be like, "Look, you ain't gonna believe what this dude just did," and he'd be like, "What?" And so now we're actually open and we're talking and we getting
beautiful.
to know each other
Yeah.
differently than we did when we were together the first time. We don't have nothing to hide now because I know that you're dating other people, and then all of a sudden. He pulls over in a parking lot one day and gets down on one knee and asks me to marry him. This was how long?
it.
December.
Love to see it.
January,
Yeah.
Pastor J, the helpless
See,
romantic.
because
Right.
there's a difference between connecting and being intimately together.
Right, Pastor
Because when
J.
you connect, you allow each other to be yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
But when you physically
Raw.
attach, then there's a level of possession that comes with it. So that means
true.
I have to control how
Yeah,
you treat
man.
me. Because, you know what I'm saying? So it's better to connect as opposed to physically.
And now as a woman,
Great
we're
analogy.
saying, I'm going to
Yes.
do the best I can so that he won't try to leave me now for somebody else. So now
Yes.
it becomes a sexual relationship,
Yeah.
like a situationship.
Yes.
But yeah.
So would you be just a little shout out, y'all? My cousin Aisha's on the phone.
Did you say hey to
Kim
Pop
Scott.
Jessie?
My father's on the
She.
phone. Lasagna Norwood.
My
Robin
sister
Holmes.
is on the line.
What's up,
Sharon.
Robin Holmes? We got a lot of people on the line, man. Cedric
Tisha.
Credit, Crane. Just
Hey,
just a
cousin
little shout out.
Crane in the house.
Steady,
Just
and
trying to give
Sharika
Izzy a little
Woods.
time to
That's
breathe
my
a little bit.
classmate.
Give an extra lot.
Look, my classmate, she chimed in earlier and she said, I'm going to be at work.
Hey,
but I'm gonna
Tisha
multitask."
Thomas.
So Sharika Woods, I love you.
Hey, Tisha Thomas.
All right. So
Love you, Aisha. So here's I got a question. Now, marriage is sacred, and sometimes, if the thought of marriage does not work out, then in our head it's like I'd be fearful to walk down that road again. So with the decision that was made at the altar, did that make you fearful for trying to do that again?
No. Actually, surprisingly, like, no. I mean, I thought it would have, but oh man, I mean, I can't wait to get married. To be honest,
because that was the whole point in the
that's the whole plan.
Yes.
Got you, got you.
I've wanted to be married since I was 25. That's when I proposed to my
Got you.
first fiance.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Some people just know what they want. You know,
Yeah.
even at a
Yeah.
young age, they know. So I have to ask this question: what does love mean to you?
Ooh.
Man, love is
Deep.
clearly a commitment, a partnership. That I don't know, like you said, like it's sacred. Once you commit, there should be like no doubt in that person. How I look at it is like I'm not going to commit to somebody if I don't have the intent of marrying you, like a ride or die.
Yes.
You know, regardless financial sickness and like everything they say in marriage, like that's how I even treat like a girlfriend. You know what I mean?
And that's how it should be. That's the part you answered it beautifully, because so many people get in relationships and they're just fishing. They're just seeing where it could go. And to me, you're wasting your
I can
time.
do that single. Well,
yeah,
single.
you can do
Yeah,
that single.
exactly.
So when you're in a committed and you're gathering data, then the intent for me would be I want to get married one day. So that's how I'm viewing it in
But
your
some-
situation.
Some people, even in gathering the information about that person, learning about their families,
Yes.
all the steps that they took y'all through is actually what you
Important.
need in order to find out,
Yes.
do I really want to connect with this person? The thing that gets me a lot of time, and not just on the show, just relationship period, is we gather data a lot of times and then we know that it's a lot of red flags and we still go and say, I want to be
Yes.
with that person. Did you ever feel like that with Stacey? Did you ever feel like that at all?
At times, yeah. But I just have that mindset like, oh, you know, we'll fix it later. And I think for me, what made me think like that was the time frame. Like we don't have enough time,
Exactly.
but we can come back to it and fix it later. And we did go through things like that. Like, she didn't like my dogs. Like, we, like I said, we
Did she
had
like anything?
first class
Did
flights.
Stacey like
Yeah.
first class flights and
And a
Birkin
good
bags?
credit score.
Credit score, nice restaurants.
Birkin bags, Fendi, Louis. I mean, and to me, it's more to it than that in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to get old with the person like you two that you love each other. So you want somebody to be your friend to where his hair is going to get gray. You going to get the wrinkles.
Right.
You going to gain some piles, you know.
yeah.
So guess what? If I'm old and ride it out with my best friend, we
That's
good.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
Come
how I
on.
see, you know, that's how I
agree.
think it should be,
We
right?
have my son and his fiance on, Tony and
Hey,
Samara,
TJ and Samira.
and of course
Hey, y'all.
Pete on here, my guy. So
Peter.
quick question.
Yeah.
This is, I admire you, man. Like seriously, like because you don't see a lot of guys, especially your age,
Yes.
that date for a purpose.
Right.
Because
Amen.
some people date
Amen.
to fill needs or
Yep.
to fill voids.
Voids, yeah.
And that's the wrong reason to date. But you dated for a purpose.
Yeah.
So how do you take now understanding that, and do you believe, okay, if I date with a purpose, so do I now move in and like speed up the process of the next person that I get with, or do you still go through the process because of the purpose that you have?
I think the beautiful thing of my current situation is that I've found someone who's gone through similar things, not necessarily engagements or marriages,
Gotcha.
but it's just been done so wrong. And it's so crazy because like you talk about astrological signs and we're all
Yes.
only like 3 days apart. So she's Virgo also. So our mindset,
Yes.
so it's so crazy.
I'm a Libra, so my compatibility is Libras. You know, like we know each other,
Yeah.
you know?
And I was like, I've never met someone who thinks exactly how I do.
Wow.
Like
That's
to
nice.
a T.
Yeah.
So it's been to this point where actually, it's like 6-month mark. You're getting to like that's when the true colors come out.
Oh, yeah.
Everything and at the end of the day, I can make decisions for us or for her if she's not around me, and I know that's exactly what she would have either picked, said, done, from food to something major.
That's amazing.
And so I think for me, that's honestly, it's been, I don't know, man.
It's like blissful. It's
It's
like God put you
amazing.
through
Gotcha.
those two things, and look
Yeah.
at where you are now. So it's like,
Yeah.
wow, it's beautiful.
What was the question again? I feel like I went off.
No,
topic
you did
now.
good. You're good.
No, you did great.
We do that all the
I
time.
did go
Trust
off.
me.
No, we do
I
that.
mean, that's
So,
beautiful.
how important is friendship to you?
Oh man, it's super important. I mean, you got to start off that way.
Yeah.
I think that once you kind of get past that honeymoon phase, you realize like, okay, I'm with this person all the time. It's not just sex and fun dates and stuff like that. Like, can I sit here at home with you and do absolutely nothing?
And
you
just
know,
love your company,
and still
right?
love to be there. Sit there in
Yes.
silence, be
Yes.
great. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think friendship is definitely huge because a lot of people end up getting together and they're only good as like maybe a couple, but not like their personalities might not match as far as like
Right.
individually.
Okay.
We have Ashley now going back to because she made it known.
Ashley,
Yes.
Ashley.
She made it known earlier today. Like, I love me some Izzy. And if y'all don't tell him to shout me out, our family ship is over.
So she gave us.
So she said, because y'all gave the first shout out, our family ship
We
is still
still
active.
family. Thank you, sis.
So-
I love you, Ashley.
I'm glad I saved the ship.
Yes, yes.
So he
Okay.
saved the shit for us, Ashley.
So for Lasagna, she says, I came on late. Who's the guest? Okay, Sonya, you may not recognize him because he doesn't have his bald head out.
Oh yeah,
Take that cap.
sweating over here.
Please be comfortable. Listen,
Yes, yes.
this is Izzy Zapata. Now, did I say your name right?
Zapata, yeah.
Zapata.
Yes.
Okay, I have my Alexa. She always tries to help me speak Spanish correctly. Or the enunciation, rather. Okay, so we have Izzy Zapata from Love is Blind, Season 5. Go binge watch it, and you will be able
Yeah.
to understand everything that we're talking about here. And I love the fact that your answers and how you are so transparent. But I want to
You're
put
genuine.
a disclaimer out there, very genuine, and we love that. This is not us talking bad about any of the other cast members.
Oh, of course not.
Because I'm sure that everybody went through that same emotional pressure. They say pressure bust pipes. So the pressure that you guys went under on this show, the timely, y'all had to be quick about, you said 15 dates in 15 minutes. That is so
Wow.
unheard of. And to get to know people in that little bit of amount of time. And then before the 10 days, right? Isn't it 10 days?
So you date, you narrow it down. It's 8 days of dating. By day 9, you propose. Day 10, you see them. For the first time.
Wow.
That's so much pressure.
I couldn't
But it's hours of dating.
imagine.
It's like 8 a.m. till like 2:30, 3 in the morning.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you dating all
All
day
day.
long.
You don't have a phone. You don't have. You're
Nice.
not watching TV.
Isn't it amazing what you
Oh,
can
it's
do
so
without
nice.
technology?
I didn't have my phone for 3 weeks, and it was amazing.
Because you really get to know people.
Yeah.
And you're not just scrolling on your phone getting distracted.
Yeah.
So when y'all
That's
got
a
y'all
good way to
phones
collect data without the phone.
without the phones, come
Hello.
on.
Straight to the sources.
Straight
man.
to the source.
So when y'all got your phones back, what was the first thing you did?
I honestly had to just let it sit for a bit because when they hadn't turned it on in 3 weeks.
Oh wow!
So the
Bing,
notifications
bing,
just
bing.
like coming in was nuts.
Friends, family.
Yeah, everyone's like, where have you been? You've been missing for 3 weeks. Like my friends on Instagram,
Oh,
like, dude, we
wow.
haven't seen you post. You usually post often. Like, some people were kind of, suspicious, and then I got home, but like,
yeah.
I'm engaged.
Yes.
So when you guys were like this, look what happened. That was actually you guys
To my mom.
telling them for the first time.
So when you get home, they give us a phone, or they make us FaceTime either our moms, our parents, or your close friend, somebody.
Okay.
And you record that. So that's real. And my mom didn't know. I told my mom, I was like, look, I'm leaving to do this show. My mom thought it was a scam too. And I was like, if you don't
Of
hear
course.
from me after the second week, I got engaged and I'm gone on a honeymoon. And I guess she still didn't believe me, so I got home, and when I put the camera on, she was just like in shock.
She's like, my son's a celebrity.
Your mom, to me, tell her I said hi. She's so sweet. I love her.
So one quick question. You're a star, man.
You really are. You really are.
You know, you're a star, man. You have a lot of people that look up to you, especially because of your character, man. You a real good guy, man.
Right.
And I applaud you, seriously. So, but you know, you've been on TV. You're a public figure to a lot of women who I'm sure have been trying to DM you. And you said it.
Stay out of his DMs.
Stay out of the DMs, y'all. So how do you handle, like, because I know when people probably see you in the street, that's,
Oh man,
how do you handle that, man?
It's like, it's cool because everyone is very sweet.
That's nice.
I will say that, like, I was afraid at first because, there was a moment on the show that I didn't have, my best moment with Johnny, and I feel like I just got a lot of trolls from it. So it's like, I was kind of afraid in person, but then everyone's just been super supportive, and so it's crazy, man. Like, I go to the grocery store and I get asked to take a picture. It happened to me this morning.
Wow.
I was outside of Kroger, eating like sushi. I was trying to eat a little something before the gym, and these girls saw me inside, followed me out, saw me in my car, and came to my car. That's the first time I ever had that. Someone came to my car to yank me out to take pictures.
Wow.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
I've done like the Nutcracker. Like, it's cool. At the end of the day, I still feel like normal.
Okay.
Like, I don't let it get to my head.
Okay.
And there's times where I've gone out and I forget that I've been on a show, and people will freak out, and like,
let me get you a drink. Hey.
Yeah, and whoever I'm with, I'm like, what's going on? And then I'm like, I snap. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? So,
Right.
That is so cool.
That's good, man. That just, like I said, it shows your humbleness, man. It shows, so does the show, like, does it shape, like, even now, like, how do you go toward or how you act toward relationships? Because that's one of the questions somebody asked. How do you, wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Where's the question at? Oh, yeah, overnight celebrity. Yeah, how... I lost the question. I'm sorry. Anyway, so being the celebrity that you are, because you're a celebrity, man. You're dating celebrity.
H-Town celebrity.
So when they look up Izzy, they look up Izzy as the dating guru.
Yes. But you know what? You got to get a YouTube channel, because now
you got one, don't you?
I don't, man.
Now
I'm actually
have
horrible at
to.
social media.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
And this is
because-
like what I do now, and it's like I'm so...
But your
cringe with, like,
vulnerability
taking
and how
pictures and
genuine you
stuff.
are, like, you can inspire so many young men to
yeah.
just be themselves
Yeah.
and be open about their feelings. Because so many men hide their feelings, but you were able to put it all out there.
I tell you what, let's start
And that's
a
amazing.
man podcast.
Oh, dude,
man.
I would love
man.
that.
And let's call it Man Talk, man. And we get these young
Yeah.
guys,
I
man.
love that.
We get them
in the man cave.
And me
In
and
the
Free
ma-
gonna
there
do
you
it.
go.
That's
That's
it.
what it's
That's
called.
it.
That's what I
Man
want to
cave.
name it. See, look,
Yeah,
God
that's
uses you right
awesome.
now.
And you know what's so crazy?
Coming this summer.
I
Izzy?
love that.
That's right. Let's
That's
do it.
right.
We've had a
Hot
couple
off
of
the block.
episodes that was called Man Talk in the Man Cave right here, where he had men around this round table and they was just having man talk.
I love that.
No, seriously,
that would
I-
be
I-
awesome.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
or you could
okay.
call it the two ball caves.
The two ball cave.
The wisdom from the ball.
Yeah,
No, but I mean,
There
hey,
you go. That's it.
What did you
Ball and
say?
beautiful.
See, I
That's
love
right.
it.
Ball and
That's
beautiful.
perfect.
I like wisdom
Chocolate
off
and
the
vanilla.
dome.
Oh, I love it. Yes. I mean, yes. That's awesome.
Okay, so listen, we have a comment. She says, dating to fill a void, that's deep. She said, it took me years to heal before I realized that was what I was doing. You never truly fulfilled when you do that. Yes, dating to fill a void. Okay, so I know I cut us off from our laugh, didn't I?
No, you're good.
I'm like, we all like, ha, ha, ha. I'm like,
And then
okay,
you just
so.
threw it off.
I did. I
Listen,
threw it all
Izzy and
off.
Jesse becoming this summer,
yeah,
y'all.
yeah,
Man
yes,
Talk in
yes.
the man cave.
Let's go.
Yes, I love it. That's
Beautiful.
perfect.
That's right.
Okay.
So okay, here's he actually so tell us, you did another you did something else, right? Can we talk about that, or
No,
Like no, we can.
yeah, you did another taping, right?
Another show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What show did you do?
So I
You're
it's coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Perfect Match season 2.
Okay.
I do have a comment about that.
Yeah, somebody
Samira-
said it. Yeah.
Samira asked, "Did he meet his partner on the Perfect Match show?"
Well, I'll tell you what, it premieres in the summer, and
gotta-
you'll just
you
have to
gotta-
watch
Oh,
it.
Yeah, watch and
Yes.
see.
You have to watch and see,
I
baby
can't wait.
girl.
Now I'm gonna be following you now on Instagram, and I don't really get on Instagram, but now
I
I
mean,
have a reason.
am I dating now? Am I not dating now? We don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we just gotta see.
We don't
it.
know.
Gotta,
We
gotta
don't
wait and
know.
see, y'all. We
So
gotta
now
wait and
you
see.
are truly a celebrity because you've done that. You know what I was thinking? I was like, man, you know what? I would not be surprised if they don't ask you to be on The Bachelor.
Oh, well, it was
'Cause
crazy.
they do
I
stuff
had a
like
DM
that.
for The Bachelorette.
Yes.
When I got
would-
home from Love
yes.
Is Blind, I was like, I am
Done.
too heartbroken
Oh, wow.
to do another dating show.
'Cause I was
right
like,
now.
The Bachelor-
At that time.
I was thinking like The Bachelor, because of everything that's happened, like I could so see them putting you on The Bachelor.
For me, it was Bachelorette. So it's like,
Oh,
I ain't gonna lie.
right.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want, I don't
no,
want
you
to
be
share.
the main
you know what
guy.
I
No,
mean?
you
So,
be the main guy. Would be
that would
perfect.
be cool.
Yes.
But yeah,
All right, so Sadie Crane says, "Did being on the show change your perception of what real love is?"
No, not at all. I think it made me realize I didn't have real love.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's good.
So
yeah.
I think it was like more so I didn't get what I should have gotten. So it didn't really discourage me. I'm like, all right, well, this person just didn't bring everything I needed to the table. So
right.
Sometimes
that.
we try to push, and like I
Try
said,
to
when I
force
see
things,
you,
like you said. In the
no,
past.
sometimes we try to push past the things that we see,
Yeah.
and because of what's inside of us, we see. We take that as like this could help bring them to where I need them to be because of what's inside of us.
Yes.
And sometimes we can kind of lose ourselves because we're pushing past red flags.
Yeah.
Red flags are there for a reason. So I say that to say now I seen you on the reunion of the last season that came. So
Yeah.
what would you?
With all the OGs.
Yeah, with all
Oh,
they
yeah.
had you as an OG on there, man. I said,
Yeah.
look at my boy Izzy. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
fun,
yes.
man.
Oh man,
But
that's
the
awesome.
guy, I wish I could have went on there and helped some of them people, like especially some of the guys, man, because I really think a lot of people go on there and they're looking to they're empty inside, so they think they use the show to kind of like fill a void, and really not on there for the purpose of finding what the show is set out to do. So
Yeah.
what would you say toward that?
So it's crazy because I was speaking of it from my experience when I went on it. I mean, like thinking about it from the day I was getting casted, I'm like, there's no way this is real. You're thinking, oh, it's TV. You know what I mean? But once you get there, and the creator, Chris Collin of the show, he comes out and explains, and that's when it gets very real. And he's like, this is a process, like clearly when I was season 5. So he's like, it's worked for other people. He's just like, be vulnerable, leave everything you have out there. And I think once you actually start doing it, when they take away your phone, when they take away everything on the outside
feels
world,
good.
it's you're just so focused into it. So it's like it does make it very easy to get locked in and looking for love. And I think where it gets difficult is when you get back to the real world and you get tested with work. You get your phone back, so you don't know who's in your DMs, from normal life before then. If you had any little flings before, it could be a lot of different things for different people. So it's like, I think some of the people just, maybe weren't, I don't want to say, I don't know the correct term to say, but maybe they just weren't ready for all that in that moment.
That moment, right?
Because it is a lot of pressure.
Because you get excited, I would think, being on a reality show.
Yeah.
But any casters, I'm available.
I'm sure it is.
I guess because I seen Clay. You know
I
what I'm
would
saying?
love
Clay,
to do a reality show. That would be fun.
Clay he was talking like, and then it got to the altar and was like, I can't do this.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this,
and he's an awesome guy. I got to meet him at the reunion. Yeah,
I
he's
believe
good.
that
Good
Clay,
guy.
all Clay needed was more time. That's me personal. Because when he got there, he said, I just need more time. And that's why I was going to ask, how big of a factor is time? And when you said it's a lot,
I would
packed
say,
in.
yes, time, but also he just needed a little bit more self-work. He needed
that's what he needed to heal.
He needed to have his issues with his parents that went on. I think he needed to resolve that within himself so he didn't bring that over to a new relationship. If he would have had that figured out, that would have been all day.
Yeah, I think he was.
He would have been fine. Time wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah,
because like you guys have said, people are broken. So when they're filling out these questionnaires, a lot of times maybe it's because they want to be on the show so bad, they may over exaggerate on some of those questions.
I don't know.
And when they get on the show, they have to,
He said that they give the psych evaluations and all of that stuff.
Yeah, there's questionnaires on like anything you can think of, like your judgment on your outlooks on relationship. How are you going to handle certain situations? How do you handle conflict, adversity, when you're sad?
So maybe at first, but then
once you get into it,
it's like
then it becomes real.
This is for real, right? Yeah.
Nice.
I definitely understand that. Ashley says Izzy's face during the reunion for the current season was a whole mood. She said his face was saying
the tea was hot. I'll tell you that. And if y'all thought it was cringy on TV, it was worse in person.
It was.
Oh my goodness.
So wait a minute. I want to ask you something. I've always wondered this. Okay. Now the other girls that you connected with, right? That you don't see. What is that mood like when you are now? Because I see that y'all come together like on some. So what is that mood like now when you see the one you didn't choose?
Oh man, it's tough, man. I mean, I know there was
You wanted those sticks and stones?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I didn't have anyone that really like hated me there. So cool. When I saw there was one girl, then I was like, damn.
That's what I be wondering. Like, do y'all really say like, God, I should have chosen?
I think for me, with that one was I didn't really. That was the one I walked out on my last date.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just and even like we go back and she's like, damn, like I probably should have at least gave it a shot. Who knows?
But everything happens for a reason.
That's right.
Yeah.
So listen, y'all. Listen. Yeah, I'm sure that's an awkward feeling.
Robin says awkward.
Yeah, I'm sure that's awkward to really see. Like I was connecting with you, but
yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. So like, do you like? Cause I know on the reunion, Clay AD said she went on a date with the guy that.
The other guy, Matt.
Yeah.
So, like, does that normally happen? Like, do you catch up with the...
I mean, you do go back to, see, is there something there? I did that with Johnny.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like curiosity.
Yeah, the curiosity is there.
Kill the cat,
And then for me, it's like I had these two, I had to choose one, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And so I was like, well, clearly one didn't want me, the other one did. And so you're kind of like, all right, well, there's a little bit of regret there, because I'm like, man, this girl really did want me.
Yeah.
So I go back and and try to see how it is, but I mean my gut was right. It was boring. I mean, so it's a great girl, but it was just always so serious and no fun. And I'm wild, man. Like you asked Justin, man, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
So I need someone who could keep up and have fun too.
For sure.
Look, Kim Scott said she felt like Lydia was the girl.
Lydia, they think Lydia should have been the one?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
too late now.
She's happily married, my boy Milton, and they're doing great. I think it all worked out the way it was supposed to work out.
Yeah, it did, man. But
and you saw the red flags,
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't say there was any red flags with
No,
Lydia.
I'm just saying, like, with Stacy, he was able to, surpass that.
Say Lydia,
Lydia, there was no red flags.
I mean, with
sometimes
Stacey,
they're just not always compatible with everybody. So.
Right. And that's what we often say. Just because you're a good person, it doesn't mean you're the good person for me.
Exactly.
So that's where we go wrong a lot of times, where if you and someone don't make it, then if someone starts dogging you out, that's unfair.
Yeah.
We just didn't make it, but it doesn't make me.
And that was tough for me, like to have to let Lydia go like that. I felt horrible because she automatically, she's like, why me? Why not me?
Right.
What did I do? Like put the blame on herself. And it was like, no, like it's not you. It's just, I don't feel like we were good for each other.
Yeah.
Wow. So, and that sucks, man. That's one thing you don't expect when you go on these shows. You're so excited to find love, but it is such a horrible feeling when you have to break somebody's heart.
Right.
And you're never ready for that. So that was tough.
Yeah, then too, you don't really know, like a lot of these people develop core behaviors. So the why me's, like when it don't work out, that's a core behavior. And sometimes we really don't know what the people that we're getting to know what they bring, because some of them bring, like Clay, he had issues with his parents. So we don't. So I believe love could be blind, but you got to really kind of give it time to kind of go through the emotions and go through what people need to get rid of or need to deal with, because to be in a relationship, you really have to come in to be a whole person. You know, you can't look to get something out of a relationship. You can't even look to be made happy in a relationship. You got to come in with your level of happiness.
Exactly.
And you got to share it. So
so we'll never go out.
So we'll never ever run out of happiness. Never run out of being bored, because we happy individuals.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I'm
it
saying?
feels so good for someone to love you for you, flaws and all. And that's the thing that I feel even more so in love with Pastor Jay, because he loved me for me, and I know I have some flaws.
Yeah,
like I am
we all
flawed,
We are all
beautifully flawed, and he
Yes.
lets me be me, and that's what I
Amen.
love about it. So
Well, listen, y'all.
I have
man.
one question.
Okay, one question. Cool.
So
Yeah.
is love truly blind?
I would say, yeah, love is blind. It works. It does work. If, I'm great in life where I'm at right now, but if I had the opportunity to do it again, I definitely would.
Yeah, I
That's
like it.
awesome.
Like
That's
it, man.
awesome.
Man, listen, I can't thank you enough, man.
Yes.
Thank you all
Thank you
so much.
so much,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
for having me.
Gracing us, man.
Appreciate
I
you.
want to come back. Honestly, this is
Yeah.
fun.
No,
This ain't
no.
enough time. You know what I
and
mean?
Justin
Hey, I
have to
need
come
somebody
back.
next to me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I've been.
No, I want you to
with
come
them.
back, man.
Yeah.
Seriously,
You and Justin
we got
have
some
to come
topics
back.
that we need to
were
talk
talking-
about.
We
I'd
were
love
actually
to.
talking about that in the car. Like you and
That'd be
Justin have to come back
awesome.
I'd
together.
love to.
Yeah, Justin wants to come on, man, but he, like I said, he was moving
He
this
was busy,
weekend.
yeah.
So he said, but definitely, man, let's do it, man. Baseball.
that would
Everybody
be
says
fun.
it's never enough time, and we love that. That means that this show is actually
Thank you,
Yes.
Izzy,
a
man.
benefit to
Thank you.
someone. So if this show is a benefit to you,
Please like and share.
subscribe.
Don't
Like and
forget
share.
to share this content.
Thank you, Latice, my
Subscribe
sister.
to the channel, and if you want to be a guest, hey, hit us in the DMs. Let
Yes.
us know what your story is, and we'll see what we
too.
can do about that.
And Izzy, the purpose of us, we don't do this show for likes, and we do this because we really have the heart to really help people in relationships and help them navigate through what's tough. Because a lot of us get in relationships and we don't have the information. So relationships
hard.
fail. It is, and it can be hard, but it's not. It wasn't designed to be hard. You know what I'm saying? So this is the reason why we do it,
Yeah.
man. So
I
man,
love that.
Thank you.
And it's a lot
so
of
much,
people
man.
when they
Thank you.
finally do come to us, they come to us under the auspices of, I want to get out of my marriage. I'm done. But what we have to continuously always let people know, this would not work if God wasn't in it.
Amen.
That's when you find the best relationship, when God is right in the middle of
That's
it.
right.
So his word is not the most and powerful word. My word is not the most and powerful word. God's word is. So if we know that's going to go down, then it's like, okay, we can do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any final things, man, you want to say, man?
Oh man, I know. Okay, I think it's great that you guys do this. Like, I would say, it's okay to be vulnerable. I know it's hard when you have your back against the wall in a relationship. Whether your friends don't like your boyfriend or your other friends don't like your girlfriend. Like, just reach out to somebody, and just try to fight for it. Just try to save it instead of just taking the easy way out and giving up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
don't
was
be
good.
shy to ask somebody for some help.
That
Someone's
was
gonna
good.
help you, because that's one thing I
Yes.
learned after Love is Blind. I was terrified. I knew I was about to just go through something so difficult alone, and I didn't realize how much support I had from my family and friends when I was actually just vulnerable, and they saw that I just needed someone there just
That
to
is
have my
awesome.
back. And it was the best thing ever, and I got closer to Justin and a lot more of my other
Wow.
guy friends that you can't just be vulnerable
That's
with
right.
like that. And
Yeah.
so reach out. Somebody loves you, and someone will give you advice. That's the best thing I could say.
So we definitely have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
Are you good with
Yes,
that?
Absolutely.
You good with
Let's
that?
do it.
All
I'm
right.
so down.
We're
Right.
And me
Follow-
and Justin are Cowboy fans. Let you know
Oh,
that,
yeah.
man.
Yes.
Me too.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can.
I know
yeah.
he is.
Be the
Yeah.
boys,
So I
baby.
said
Be the
we're
boys, baby.
gonna have to
We
follow
gonna come on
Izzy
our
everywhere.
Cowboys. Oh, see,
Yes.
you started something, Izzy.
I got my Des Bryant jersey in the
Oh
closet. It's
yes.
really good.
Oh my God, it's on now.
Oh
Don't
Lord.
get him started about the
It's
Cowboys.
on.
Lord.
But now we got to follow Izzy through his whole transformation from this new show that's coming up.
Oh, Lord.
We need to
Ashley.
keep you coming on, letting us know how you're doing,
Absolutely.
your
Get a
relationships.
recap.
Oh, yeah, that'll
Yes,
be fun.
yes,
And
that'll
I'll have
be
a
awesome.
special guest we can bring on after.
Oh
all
wow,
that.
that was
Yes,
So
That'll be fun.
like
Don't worry.
we a smaller podcast, but can we get the exclusive?
Oh yeah.
Man, but listen, y'all, we had a great time, man.
Yes,
man,
thank you for
we
coming.
applaud you,
Thank you for
Izzy,
having us.
man.
Thank y'all for having
Man,
me.
thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
man. Thank you.
Yes,
This
we
means
love
the
ya.
world to us. Thank you
family
again.
now.
Yeah, you family now, man.
Yes.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I can't thank you enough, man.
Thank y'all for having me. It's been a
Thank you so
blast.
much, man. So listen, y'all. Listen, that's our time. Listen, y'all.
And we want to end on one more thing.
Yeah. You've been
Because he's a
shifted,
guest
man.
on our-
You
been
have
shifted.
been shifted.
You've been shifted.
Give him his
Yeah, we
nice
got a
little-
shirt for you, man.
Oh,
You
that's
have
awesome.
been shifted.
I think it's under here, guys. It's
Oh.
right here. You
Okay.
are officially
A part of the Shift
movement.
family.
That's
You one of these amazing shirts just for you.
Awesome.
So
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
We didn't know what size.
We in
so.
this.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I love
That's how we
it.
do. So
You
listen,
are now
y'all.
part of the family.
That's our time. Listen, y'all. Remember, man, Sacred Stone Studios here in
We
Houston,
love you
Texas.
guys.
We love you guys, man. And we getting ready, y'all. Look out for us in the summer. Man Talk from the Dome.
Bald is beautiful,
Oh
baby.
my God.
Bald and
I
beautiful,
love it.
baby. Yes. So y'all look out for that. Me and Izzy gonna be talking about that, y'all. We gonna bring that to y'all in the summer.
All right.
But listen, y'all, that's our time, man. Listen, y'all, please like and share. And I'm your boy, Pastor J.
I'm your girl, Lady Free.
And I'm too real with Izzy Zapata.
Hey,
Have a
until
good
next
night.
time.
Until next time,
same bad channel,
same bad
same
channel,
bad place.
same bad place.
Peace.
Peace.
For watching.